housing both the Senate and the House of Representatives. And in a manner similar to earlier this morning when President's House, or the space where Prime Minister Modi would have received the order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, it is quite possible that there'll almost be standing room only, as individuals would want to have counted themselves in attendance for an event of this magnitude. And the Red House, as some of our viewers might know, has a rich, sometimes tumultuous history, having been rebuilt after a fire in 1903. We have some government ministers approaching. We have Ministers Padarath and John, Minister of Utilities and Minister of Works and Infrastructure, respectively. We also have Minister Devesh Maharaj, Minister of Justice and Minister in the Office of the Attorney General. We have Anil Roberts, Minister in the Ministry of Housing. We also have President of the Senate, Wade Mark, who we would have seen earlier at President's House. Minister of Agriculture, Lands and Fisheries, Ravi Ratiram. Wayne Sturge, Minister of Defense. Minister of Education, Dr. Michael Dowlat. Eli Zakur. We had Sean Sobers, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs. Minister Zakur being Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation. We have the guard of honor, this quarter guard, returning to the courtyard. So David Lee, Minister of Housing, Minister of Culture and Community Development, Michelle Benjamin, all making their way inside. Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Khadija Amin. Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services, Vandana Mohit. Just so the Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Minister Rudal Munilal, Parliamentary Secretary, the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, and Paul Sec in the Office of the Prime Minister, Nicholas Morris. Listing the ministers as they pass or they walk in front of our view or gaze. We should also let you know that our Prime Minister, the Honourable Kamla Prasad Bissessa SC, is already in Parliament, so she would have been leading from the front.
perfectly still. But her hand is form up and with your instruction still.
Quarter guard. Side base in. One base. Left close. March.
There we have Speaker of the House Jagdeo Singh and President of the Senate Wade Mark letting you know that when Prime Minister Modi arrives at the Abercrombie Street courtyard, he will be welcomed by the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House that we are seeing, and will be saluted by the quarter guard. Hence the reason they are there awaiting the presence of Prime Minister Modi. Now, this ceremonial welcome with the Guard of Honor is a mark of immense respect and signifies the importance of Prime Minister Modi's visit to the legislative body. Now, it is a formal recognition of the strong diplomatic ties between the two countries. And those sounds we're hearing mean that the Speaker of the House, the President of the Senate, we're also seeing Chantal LaRoche, I believe, a clerk of the Senate or senior legal officer. They are not waiting in vain, meaning that the Prime Minister is close by, as we can see from this level of activity. We also have the quarter guard making sure that people are where they are supposed to be, guiding them into position, as it were.
Quarter guard. Quarter guard. Jump. Rifle. Exercise it. Shot at the time. Shoulder.
So we're seeing that Prime Minister Modi is motorcade and he himself have arrived. It is a red carpet reception, quarter guard of honor with 12 military officers in the courtyard, being greeted by the President of the Senate, Wade Mark. Now the Speaker of the House, Jagdeo Singh. Now, there was not an installed saluting dais, but the existing infrastructure at the courtyard allowed for that elevated positioning. And Prime Minister Modi is now being escorted to the A&R Robinson Diplomatic Room by the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House. Now, following this, he will be escorted to the chamber. So definitely looking at the different ways that the circle of diplomacy get to function, even looking at some of the idiosyncrasies between one guard and the other in tone of voice, the inflection. So, we are inside the chamber at this point in time, definitely giving you the best seats in the House. And the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House, they were waiting, and they will be waiting on the dais. Following that, we will hear the playing of the national anthems, first of India, followed by the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago. So definitely that is something that we are looking forward to. But even looking at how each part of stakeholders involved hold the line. This is where we have the saying, all hands on deck, looking at the defense arms of the defense force, that arm, in addition to the diplomatic corps and the roles, different roles and functions that they are expected to perform. And we're very happy to bring it to you live, this coverage of the official visit of the Prime Minister of the Republic of India to Trinidad and Tobago, and even listening to the list of salutations as shared by our President. We see that we have Deputy Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly as well, Dr. Faith Brebner, in addition to the individuals that we would have mentioned their names with them walking in. Once again, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honourable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, she would have gone in before we started bringing these visuals to you, so she is also in attendance. And we're looking forward to see what next is there, because while there will be the Joint Assembly, we are going to be having an address by Prime Minister Modi. We will see how long that takes. We will also see the Speaker of the House inviting Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar to give a response. So that will take place as well. Then there will be some bilateral talks, which we will not be privy to at this point in time, that will take place at the Max Richards Diplomatic Reception Lounge. Following that, we will have the opportunity to see MOUs exchanged, Memorandum of Understanding. And once again, we're very curious to see what areas will be addressed, what lines will be taken, because these will be indications for points of emphasis, whether or not they will be undergirding or underlying the policies that have been stated overtly by this administration, saying these are the things that they want to focus on, these are the things that they're going to invest in for the benefit of all of us here in Trinidad and Tobago. And following that, we have the planting of trees. And even the types of trees are some things that we will speak about, what types of trees there are, the significance that they have, whether or not they are physical or also deeply symbolic in terms of a spiritual nature. And it seems as though some of these plants will also be distributed. So we will be getting that and sharing with you as the day's events unfold before our very eyes, and we are here to observe it with you at this point in time. So this is where the tree planting ceremony will be taking place a little later, and it is very close to the eternal flame. So just making that space, so the entire Red House is one that is full of symbolism, but even more so, it's on the opposite side of the eternal flame, the western end. So we will be seeing what the exact address to the Joint Assembly will look like. And undoubtedly, it's a key highlight of the visit. Some of the things that Prime Minister Modi may touch on would be following or doubling down upon shared democratic values, commonalities in our history and the culture. Once again, speaking to economic cooperation. There may even be a nod speaking to global challenges and the way that we can address them by facing each other and building bridges in terms of looking at the global south as a geographic space as well as an ideological space, as posited by Dr. Sherian Singh yesterday. What we do, we take a short break. When we return, we have more of this live coverage for you.
It is with great pride and anticipation that we welcome the Honourable Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Republic of India, to the shores of Trinidad and Tobago on July 3rd and 4th, 2025. This historic visit, the first by a Prime Minister from the Republic of India in over 2 decades, marks a new chapter in the enduring friendship between our two nations. Prime Minister Modi's visit is not only symbolic, it is strategic. It signals India's growing engagement with the Caribbean and its recognition of Trinidad and Tobago as a key partner in the region. This visit reaffirms our commitment to South-South cooperation and to building bridges of opportunity between our peoples. We look forward to deepening our partnership with the Republic of India for the prosperity of our citizens and the advancement of our shared global vision.
Line and Length, the #1 cricket program in the West Indies, is on TTT. Line and Length brings you up-to-date interviews, analysis, and highlights on the game in the region and internationally. Line and Length in association with Massey United Insurance on TTT.
It is the official visit of the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, Shri Narendra Modi, to Trinidad and Tobago. Prime Minister Modi has been welcomed to Parliament, the seat of democracy in Trinidad and Tobago. Once again, at this point in time, we can only forecast what will be spoken about in this joint address, or this address to the Joint Assembly, but definitely it should provide an opportunity to directly engage with the legislative body and reiterate India's commitment to strengthening ties with Trinidad and Tobago, which has been a recurring point made during day one and the beginning of this second day that we are now looking at. And this exchange of addresses definitely allows both leaders to articulate their shared vision and reaffirm their commitment to mutual growth and prosperity. We see Prime Minister Modi being escorted on one side by the President of the Senate, Wade Mark, on the other side, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Jagdeo Singh.
The Honourable Jagdeo Singh, MP, Speaker of the House of Representatives. The Honourable Jagdeo Singh, Member of Parliament, Speaker of the House of Representatives. The Honourable Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Republic of India. The Honourable Kamla Prasad Bisesa SC, MP, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Members of Parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Members of the Diplomatic Corps. Distinguished guests. Members of the media. As President of the Senate, it is a distinct privilege to welcome you all to this joint assembly of the Parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. We have convened this Parliament to receive a most distinguished guest, the Honourable Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Republic of India. Prime Minister, your presence today powerfully reflects the enduring friendship between Trinidad and Tobago and India, built on shared heritage, cultural bonds, and a mutual commitment to democracy. Both our nations are proud parliamentary democracies, shaped by vibrant, diverse societies and institutions that give voice to the will of the people. It is in our respective houses, Trinidad and Tobago House of Representatives and the Senate, and the India's Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, that our democratic values are continuously upheld. Our history of parliamentary engagement is long and meaningful. I recall with pride the 2012 visit of the Honourable Meera Kumar, Speaker of the Lok Sabha, for the Commonwealth Speakers Conference, and my own reciprocal visit to India later that year. These exchanges have reaffirmed our dedication to dialogue, mutual learning, and inter-parliamentary cooperation. On behalf of all members of Parliament and the people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, I extend to you, Honourable Prime Minister, a warm and heartfelt welcome. Welcome.
Honourable members of the Joint Assembly, I stand today in this distinguished and august chamber before a powerful symbol of the enduring and lasting friendship of our two nations. Honourable Prime Minister, the Speaker's chair was gifted to this Parliament by the Government of India in 1968. The seemingly simple gift of this chair honors the deep-rooted ties between our two nations, and these exchanges serve to reaffirm our shared commitment to institutional dialogue and the enduring value of interparliamentary cooperation. I therefore, with the utmost privilege and profound pride, now invite you, the Honourable Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Republic of India, to address this joint assembly.
Your Excellency, Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Vishesarji, Honourable President of the Senate, Mr. Wade Mark, Honourable Speaker, Mr. Jagdev Singh, Honourable Ministers, distinguished members of Parliament, Namaskar, Suprabhat, good morning. I am deeply honored to stand before you, the elected representatives of a proud democracy and a friendly nation. I bring greetings from 1.4 billion people of India. I also bring warm wishes from the people of Ghana, the country I visited just before arriving here. I am humbled to be the first Indian Prime Minister to speak to you in this iconic Red House. This historic red building has seen struggles and sacrifices of the people of Trinidad and Tobago for freedom and dignity. Over the past 6 decades, it has stood strong as you built a just, inclusive, and prosperous democracy. Friends, the people of this great nation have chosen two remarkable women leaders, the President and the Prime Minister. They proudly call themselves daughter of the Indian diaspora. They take pride in their Indian heritage. In India, we admire their leadership, grit, and determination. They are living symbols of the relationship between our countries, built on shared roots and shared dreams. Distinguished members, both our nations rose from the shadows of colonial rule to write our own stories with courage as our ink and democracy as our pen. Today, both our nations stand as proud democracies and pillars of strength in the modern world. A couple of months ago, you celebrated the Festival of Democracy by participating in elections. I congratulate the people of this country for their wisdom and vision for peace, stability, and prosperity. I also congratulate the newly elected members of this august House. I extend special greetings to Prime Minister Kamalaji for forming the government once again. And I wish her continued success as she leads this great nation towards sustained growth and prosperity. Friends, when I look at the golden words of the Speaker's chair from the people of India to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, I feel a deep sense of emotion. That chair is not just a piece of furniture, but a powerful symbol of the friendship and trust between our two nations. The words expresses the bond that one democracy feels for another. आप सभी जानते हैं, भारतीयों के लिए डेमोक्रेसी सिर्फ एक पॉलिटिकल मॉडल भर नहीं है, हमारे लिए ये वे ऑफ लाइफ है, हमारी हजारों वर्षों की महान विरासत है। इस संसद में भी कई साथी ऐसे हैं जिनके पूर्वज बिहार से हैं। वो बिहार जो महाजनपदों यानी एंशियंट रिपब्लिक्स की भूमि है। In India, democracy is not just a political system. For us, it is a way of life. Your parliament also has some members whose forefathers were from the Indian state of Bihar, which is famous for centers like Vaishali. Friends, there is a natural warmth in the connection between our two countries. I must say, Indians are among the most passionate fans of the West Indies cricket team. We cheer for them with all our heart, except when they are playing against India. The relationship between our two countries is based on the foundation of centuries-old bonds. 180 years ago, the first Indians arrived on this land after a long and hard journey. Oceans away, the Indian beats blended beautifully with the Caribbean rhythm. Here, Bhojpuri found harmony with Creole. Dalpuri met doubles, and tabla met the steel pan. Today, the people of Indian origin are proud bearers of the red, black, and white flag. From politics to poetry, cricket to commerce, calypso to chutney, they contribute to every field. They are an integral part of the vibrant diversity that you all respect. Together, you have built a nation that lives its motto, together we aspire, together we achieve. Friends, earlier today, Her Excellency, the President, graciously confirmed upon me this country's highest national award. I accept it with humility on behalf of 1.4 billion Indians. Now, with immense gratitude, I dedicate it to the enduring friendship and the ancestral ties between our two nations. I'm delighted to so many women members in this House. Respect for women is deeply rooted in Indian culture. One of our important holy texts, the Skanda Purana, says, Dasaputro sama kanya, Dasaputran pravardhayan, Yat phalam labhate mratyam, Tat labhyam kanya ekaya. It means one daughter brings as much happiness as 10 sons. We are strengthening the hands of women to build a modern India. From space to sports, startups to science, education to enterprise, aviation to armed forces, they are leading India to a new future in various domains. Like you, we have are women who rose from humble beginnings to become our president. Two years ago, the Indian Parliament took a historic step, which decided to ensure a 33% reservation for women in Parliament and state assemblies. This assurance that is the coming generations, more and more women will decide the destiny and direction of the nation. Women leaders are also thriving at the grassroots in India. Around 1.5 million elected women power local governor institutions. We are in an era of women-led development. This was also one of the important themes that we furthered during our G20 presidency. हम भारत में विमेन लेड डेवलपमेंट का एक नया मॉडल विकसित कर रहे हैं। अपनी G20 प्रेसिडेंसी के दौरान भी इस मॉडल की सफलता को हमने पूरी दुनिया के सामने रखा है। Distinguished members, today India is the fastest growing major economy in the world. Every sector, every region, and every society is part of this growth story. India's growth is inclusive and people-centric. A recent report of the International Labour Organization notes that India's social security and welfare umbrella covers 950 million people. That is almost 1 billion people, which is a greater population than most countries in the world. Our vision for such inclusive growth does not stop at our borders. We see our development also as a responsibility towards others, and our priority will always be the global South. With the same spirit, we are deepening our relations with Trinidad and Tobago. Our trade will continue to grow. We will encourage our businesses to invest more in this country. Our development partnership will expand. Training capacity, building, and skill development will keep human development as its center. Health has been and will remain a key part of our partnership. Many Indian doctors and healthcare workers have been serving here with distinction. We are glad that you have decided to recognize Indian medical standards. This will ensure access to high-quality, affordable medicine for all. We also welcome your decision to adopt the UPI digital payment system. It is a major step forward. UPI has revolutionized digital payments in India. Powered by the platform, India has become the nation with the highest number of real-time digital payments in the world. Today, in India, even the mango sellers have QR code. If you try to pay them in cash, they will ask you to use UPI because they don't have the change. We are also keen to collaborate on other digital innovations. As India develops AI tools to foster growth and development in the global South, Trinidad Tobago will be a priority nation for us. We will share our expertise in agriculture, horticulture, and food processing. Machinery from India will support your agro industry. And because development is about dignity, we will organize an artificial limb fitment camp and differently abled citizens here. For us, there are no limits to our cooperation with you. We will always be guided by your needs and priorities. Friends, synergy between our nations holds immense promise. As a key player in the Caribbean and bridge to Latin America, Trinidad and Tobago has a great potential. I'm sure that our ties will help us forge a stronger connection with the wider region, building on the momentum of the second India-CARICOM summit. We are eager to collaborate on initiatives that enhance trade and investment, build infrastructure and mobility, implement community development projects, and above all, support capacity building, training and skill development on a large scale. Friends, I also see our partnership in a larger global framework. The scale and speed of change in the world is unprecedented. There are fundamental shifts in the nature of politics and power. Free trade is under pressure. There are growing global divisions, disputes, and disparities. The world is faced with challenges of climate change, food, health, and energy security. Terrorism remains a pressing threat. Colonial rules of the past may have ended, but their shadows linger in new forms. There are new challenges in space and cyber security. Artificial intelligence is unlocking the new opportunities as well as risk. The old institutions are struggling to deliver peace and progress. At the same time, the global south is rising. They wish to see a new and fairer world order. When the United Nations turned 75, there was great hope across the developing world. A hope that long-pending reforms would be realized, that their voices would finally be heard. But that hope has turned into disappointment. The voice of the developing world remains on the margins. India has always tried to bridge this gap. For India, Mahasagar, mutual and holistic advancement for society and growth across regions, is the guiding vision for the global south. Whenever we got the opportunity, we have given voice to the global south. During our G20 presidency, we brought the concerns of the global south to the center of global decision making. During the pandemic, while caring for our 1.4 billion people, India provided vaccine and medicines to over 150 countries. times of disaster, we have responded swiftly with aid, relief, and solidarity. Our development partnerships are demand-driven, respectful, and without conditions. Distinguished members, it is time for us to work together to give the Global South its rightful seat at the right table. To ensure climate justice so that the burden does not fall on those who have contributed the least to the climate crisis. We consider Trinidad and Tobago an important partner in this endeavor. Friends, our two countries may differ in size and geography, but we are deeply aligned in our values. We are proud democracies. We believe in dialogue, sovereignty, multilateralism, and human dignity. In these times of conflicts, we must remain true to those values. Terrorism is the enemy of humanity. This very Red House has itself witnessed the wounds of terror and the loss of innocent blood. We must stand united to deny terrorism any shelter or space. We thank the people and the government of this country for standing with us in our fight against terrorism. Friends, our forefathers struggled, sacrificed, and had dreams of better lives for future generations. Both India and Trinidad and Tobago have come a long way on the journey to the future we have promised our people. But we still have a lot to do by ourselves and together. All of you, as members of the Parliament, have a vital role in shaping that future. From Ayodhya to Arima, from the Ghats of Ganga to the Gulf of Paria, may our bonds grow ever deeper and our dreams ever higher. With these thoughts, I thank you once again for this honor. As you say here, with grace and pride, respect due. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Honourable members of this joint assembly, I now call upon the Honourable Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa of Senior Counsel, Member of Parliament and Prime Minister to deliver expressions of thanks on behalf of all parliamentarians here assembled.
you, Mr. Speaker. Honourable Speaker of the House, Honourable President of the Senate, Your Excellency Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and the Indian delegation who have joined us in this very august chamber, we say welcome. Excellency Dr. Jaishankar, Minister of External Affairs of the Republic of India, Your Excellency Mr. Pradeep Singh, High Commissioner for the Republic of India to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Honourable Members of Parliament, esteemed members of the delegations, our very distinguished guests, and indeed members of the media, I say good morning to each and every one of you. Before I speak of the present, allow me to honour the past quickly and quietly etched into the heart of this, the seat of our democracy, the House of Representatives. I say to you all, welcome to Bhawan, the People's House, all of you. Honourable Prime Minister Modi is seated in a chair, as you pointed out, Mr. Speaker, gifted to Trinidad and Tobago in 1968, only a few years after our independence. And that description that Honourable Prime Minister referred to, I would like to repeat, because it's a very important description. It says, from the people of India to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So more than just furniture, that chair is a living symbol of our shared values, the supremacy of the rule of law, the sanctity of democracy, and the enduring belief that dialogue, not division, must guide us. Today, as we welcome His Excellency Prime Minister of India, a leader who is shaped by service, vision, a very charismatic leader, I think that chair stands as a silent witness to how far we have journeyed together and how much further we can go together. Honourable Prime Minister Modi reminded us that this year, 2025, marks 180 years since the first indented labourers arrived on Nelson Island. They crossed the dark waters with little or nothing, but they had courage and they had resilience. Theirs is but one thread in our national tapestry, woven alongside the sons and daughters of other nations whose children were also brought to our shores. Together, we have built Trinidad and Tobago. And nowhere is that shared legacy more vividly reflected than in this House or Parliament, the living symbol of our diverse democratic journey. So it is fitting that we welcome here today Prime Minister Modi, a leader of the world's largest democracy, a statesman whose story mirrors the hopes of ordinary people. And in these chambers, the voices of our ancestors echo, and it is here through unity and principled dialogue that we carry their legacy forward. Earlier today, as mentioned, we had the distinct honor of conferring our country's highest national award, the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And Prime Minister Modi is recognized internationally as one of the world's most respected, most admired, visionary leaders who has transformed and redefined and repositioned his own country as a prominent and dominant global power. And indeed, we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and the government of Trinidad and Tobago, express our heartfelt gratitude for India's very compassionate humanitarian gift of vaccines and medical supplies during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I want us to remember that when some countries were hoarding their medical supplies and their vaccines, it was Shri Modi ji who ensured that even the smallest and most vulnerable countries, including Trinidad and Tobago, receive these vaccines as a gift. At that moment in time, India again proved to us that India was a trusted friend and a reliable partner. So, today, India and Trinidad and Tobago stand uniquely poised. India as the world's most populous nation and in the top 4 in terms of the economy. On the side of the world, Trinidad and Tobago stands as the Eastern Caribbean's largest economy, and we see it as a gateway to CARICOM and a gateway to Latin America. Both our democracies are diverse, democracies committed to inclusion, committed to education, committed to progress. Our theme, 2 nations with historical bonds, but with a shared future. This, therefore, is a call for purposeful action. Some of us may know that bilateral trade between Trinidad and Tobago and India reached a record TT $1.2 billion, US $368.96 million in the last fiscal year. Trinidad and Tobago exports to India energy products, including ammonia, LNG, methanol, whilst on the other hand we import from India pharmaceuticals, textiles, and industrial goods. As we look ahead from today, as we move ahead, we aim to expand our exports, Honourable Prime Minister, to tap into India's 1.4 billion population. And that is a 1.4 billion consumers. We are also pursuing a partial scope trade agreement. The first it would be from a CARICOM country, and we are laying the foundation for a new bilateral investment treaty. Honourable Prime Minister, India's status as the world's pharmacy is well established, with institutions like Serum Institute and CIPLA saving lives globally. If I may be personal a minute, just this morning I had a course to use CIPLA, imported from India. So we welcome our agreements. So we want to partner with Indian pharmaceutical leaders to establish local drug manufacturing facilities, biotech parks, telemedicine networks, and so enhance health resilience and create high-quality jobs in Trinidad and Tobago. India has also pledged support for, amongst other initiatives, a Jaipur foot camp, dialysis units, sea ambulances, most vital for Seabridge, Trinidad and Tobago, sea ambulances. And these initiatives will directly benefit both Trinidad and Tobago. Energy remains central to both our economies. We are in discussions with Indian companies to participate in various energy-related projects here in Trinidad and Tobago. And we are proud to join India-led initiatives such as the Global Biofuels Alliance, Biofuels Alliance, and we thank Prime Minister Modi for presenting Trinidad and Tobago, gifting to us a solar rooftop system, a symbol of our shared commitment to sustainable energy. Honourable Prime Minister, Trinidad and Tobago is honoured to adopt India's UPI system and collaborate on India stack tools such as Aadhaar and DigiLocker to modernize public service. And may I take this opportunity, Honourable Prime Minister, on behalf of the children of Trinidad and Tobago, to thank you for your gift of 2,000 laptops to the children of schools. Together, it is our aim to position Trinidad and Tobago as a digital hub for the Americas and to empower a new generation of tech-savvy citizens here in our land. India continues to support our security efforts, which we know is a serious challenge for us, through their training under the ITEC program and through assistance in establishing here in Trinidad and Tobago a regional forensic science center. We also welcome India's offer of the Sashnet disaster alert system to strengthen our national emergency response. Yes, again, India continues to enrich our nation through scholarships, through training, through cultural exchanges. We are renewing academic chairs at the University of West Indies in the field of Ayurvedic medicine. We'll be expanding the Mahatma Gandhi Institute's reach and transforming Nelson Island into a cultural heritage site with digitized indentation mechanisms. As I close, I say this visit is more than just diplomacy. It marks the dawn of a renewed South-South partnership, grounded in shared history and grounded in forward-looking purpose. From cane fields we all came. We have come to digital frontiers. India and Trinidad and Tobago now walk as strategic partners. Here in this Parliament, we are reminded that our bond is built on mutual respect, enduring values, and above all, out of love and respect. Prime Minister Modi, we thank you for your presence. We thank you for your vision. We thank you for your steadfast commitment to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and to the people of our region. Your honored presence reaffirms our shared commitment to unity, to innovation, and to peace. I say long live the friendship between Trinidad and Tobago and India. And I take this moment, sir, to thank all of you who have come to our shores. And we bid you to come again and to stay for longer. To all of you who have contributed to making Prime Minister Modi's visit to Trinidad and Tobago the resounding success that it has been, we say thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Madam Chair.
So we have seen addresses from Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi of India, as well as Kamala Persad-Bissessar of Trinidad and Tobago, our Prime Minister. And Prime Minister Modi hit many points in his address that found favor with and desk-thumping fervor with the members of the collective that he would have addressed jointly. From our motto to calling place names, looking at the fact that Trinidad and Tobago will be a priority nation, his words from the Prime Minister of India. That's his declaration, coming as part of a broader vision to elevate Trinidad and Tobago as a key partner in India's Global South policy, something that he would have stated overtly, saying that India is ready to share its expertise, reiterating the point that there would have been a donation of COVID-19 vaccines. The first tranche that we would have received would have been from the government of India. He also announced the launch of a limb treatment camp in Trinidad and Tobago, providing prosthetic limbs and mobility aids to those in need, especially the differently abled. He is now being escorted out of the chamber. And there will be, so Prime Minister Modi has been escorted to the chamber. He is now being escorted to the Maxwell Richards, well, there's, yes, the rotunda, but he is being escorted from the chamber where he would have made his address, addressed to the joint collective, both MPs and senators, and he's going to be escorted to the Maxwell Richard room for bilateral discussions. Understandably, we will not be privy to those at this point in time, but from there will be MOU exchanges. We're being told that there's possibly a number of 5 MOUs that will be exchanged, memoranda of understanding. And from there, we will then see, well, we'll have the opportunity for those MOUs to be exchanged. But definitely, on his second day of this official visit to the beautiful Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, there's so much being done, including regards from Ghana, which would have been the first stop on Prime Minister Modi's whirlwind tour. 8 days, 5 countries, 5 jurisdictions is definitely nothing to sneeze at. Now, we would have had the Prime Minister being escorted, like I said, to the Maxwell Richards room for the bilateral discussions. And we've also seen government MPs departing the chamber for the rotunda. Many of them will go straight to the rotunda for the MOU exchange. And these bilateral discussions, some people might argue, this is where the real work of diplomacy takes place. We've been told that there are about 10 members per delegation, and these meetings will be closed door, delving into specific areas of cooperation. We've seen both Prime Ministers speak to areas that they hope to foster development and encourage this sort of bilateral relations, identifying concrete steps to advance the partnerships of the jurisdictions of India as well as Trinidad and Tobago. And we can expect discussions on trade, investment, technology transfer, potentially cultural exchange programs. We heard Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar speaking of the UPI system as well. So we are looking for those discussions, when they conclude, for us to have more to share with you at that point in time. So we have MPs getting ready for this position where we'll be able to take the official pictures at the rotunda. And all of this takes place before the tree planting ceremony. There we have members on various levels making sure that everything is where it is supposed to be while the bilateral discussions are taking place. One of the things that would have been proposed by Prime Minister Modi would have been a joint initiative to continue collaboration in agriculture, modernizing farming techniques, improving food security, introducing climate-resilient crops. Once again, he noted that India is ready to share its experience, or its expertise rather, and he would have even had the anecdote that sometimes even on the side of the road purchasing things like mangoes, a very common fruit, you'd have vendors using UPI as opposed to wanting to accept cash. But we continue with the coverage as events unfold. We take a short break. Stay with us. We return after this.
It is with great pride and anticipation that we welcome the Honourable Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Republic of India, to the shores of Trinidad and Tobago on July 3rd and 4th, 2025. This historic visit, the first by a Prime Minister from the Republic of India in over 2 decades, marks a new chapter in the enduring friendship between our two nations. Prime Minister Modi's visit is not only symbolic, it is strategic. It signals India's growing engagement with the Caribbean and its recognition of Trinidad and Tobago as a key partner in the region. This visit reaffirms our commitment to South-South cooperation and to building bridges of opportunity between our peoples. We look forward to deepening our partnership with the Republic of India for the prosperity of our citizens and the advancement of our shared global vision.
Breaking news tonight, women leading the way, shaping the future.
TTT News, first at 6 p.m.
It is with great pride and anticipation that we welcome the Honourable Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Republic of India, to the shores of Trinidad and Tobago on July 3rd and 4th, 2025. This historic visit, the first by a Prime Minister from the Republic of India in over 2 decades, marks a new chapter in the enduring friendship between our two nations. Prime Minister Modi's visit is not only symbolic, it is strategic. It signals India's growing engagement with the Caribbean and its recognition of Trinidad and Tobago as a key partner in the region. This visit reaffirms our commitment to South-South cooperation and to building bridges of opportunity between our peoples. We look forward to deepening our partnership with the Republic of India for the prosperity of our citizens and the advancement of our shared global vision.
And it has been a day of diplomacy and deepening ties. This the second day in the official visit of the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, Shri Narendra Modi to Trinidad and Tobago. And one of the things that we would have looked at is the exchange of addresses from both prime ministers, which allowed both leaders to articulate their shared vision and reaffirm their commitment to mutual growth and prosperity. Now, that joint assembly has concluded, which is why we're seeing members who would have been addressed previously, as well as others, taking their positions in the rotunda, where shortly we will see the President of the Senate and Speaker of the House escorting the Prime Minister Modi, that is, to the diplomatic room to sign the visitor's book. Always a lovely opportunity. And obviously some individuals are where they weren't supposed to be, so they're being guided rather to more advantageous positions, at least from the perception of the diplomatic corps and others who are tasked with such. And all of this is taking place on a very timed basis, in the sense that as soon as this is finished, we'd have Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Prasad Bisesa taking part in a tree planting ceremony. From there, the Prime Minister of the Republic of India once more goes back to the airport to depart our shores. And this is after having arrived on Thursday, July 3, second leg of a 5-nation tour. Also, having said that 35 million members of the Indian diaspora spread across the world are India's pride. This from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, Prime Minister Modi would have spelled out various cultural, educational, financial measures that India is undertaking to strengthen links between the homeland and diasporic Indians, announcing, including the fact that 6th-generation Indian origin citizens of Trinidad and Tobago will receive the Overseas Citizens of India card soon. So we're getting ready for those photo opportunities after the bilateral discussions, and they will also see the MOU exchange that will be taking place shortly. Very happy to be able to bring this event or these events to you as they take place, and all this takes place before the tree planting ceremony, before the motorcade whisks the Prime Minister of India away once more. Prime Minister Modi would have arrived in Trinidad and Tobago yesterday. This is once again July 3. Today being July 4, after which he will go to Argentina. Now, the last stop in the tour should be Namibia, where he will pay tribute to Namibian decolonization icon Sam Nujoma, who would have passed away on February 8. So it seems as though this raft of visits are quite intentional and strung together with a level of concerted purpose. I'm not trying to compare ourselves to anyone, but once again, Prime Minister Modi would have brought greetings from Ghana, where he and the Ghanaian President Mahama would have held talks and decided on a plan forward going forward, trying to double trade in the next 5 years. We will see what comes out of the MOUs that we are expecting to be exchanged a bit later in today's proceedings on our end in Trinidad and Tobago. Reminding you that a little earlier we would have seen the Prime Minister of India receiving the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. That ceremony would have begun with a reading of a citation, followed by Her Excellency Christine Carla Kangaloo bestowing the award upon Prime Minister Modi. Remarks were delivered by both Her Excellency and Prime Minister Modi, highlighting shared values and friendship between the two jurisdictions, our two nations. After which, a motorcade would have brought the Prime Minister of the Republic of India to our seat of democracy. That motorcade would have seen him experience the pathway or the roadways that he would have used to get to the Red House or to Parliament, being flanked by school children waving flags of Trinidad and Tobago and India. Upon arrival, Prime Minister Modi would have been met by a quarter guard of honor, 12 military officers standing ready in the courtyard. He was also greeted by President of the Senate, Wade Mark, as well as Speaker of the House, Jagdeo Singh, who would have escorted him to the A&R Robinson Diplomatic Room, then to the chamber. And I can only imagine the feeling sitting on that chair that would have been gifted to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago by the Republic of India in 1968. Just 6 years after our country's independence in '62. Here we're seeing Independent Senator Deorup Timal crossing the floor, no pun intended. We have Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Philip Edward Alexander.
Test.
We're not quite comfortably assured that the audio system is working at the rotunda. They were seeing the Minister or the Ministry of Health, Dr. Richard Sicharan. All while various stakeholders are putting those finishing touches in place. So it seems as though those bilateral discussions have concluded. Which will lead to Prime Minister Prasad Bisesa and Prime Minister Modi being escorted to the Rotunda Gallery for the exchange of those memoranda of understanding, which would form a concrete, a tangible outcome of these discussions, which would not have started today.
Right, at the end there is a handing over of a prototype and a playing of a video. Okay, that's right, Atin.
And moving further, we will also, we're looking forward to as we said, the tangible outcome of discussions that have been taking place over some time now, before we go to the opposite area of the Eternal Flame for the tree planting exercise. You'll also see what type of plant it is, in addition to those that are being given, and not sure of the methodology in terms of submitting at this point in time, in terms of sharing those plants. But we see groupings moving into position, and we think we will actually just take you there so that you have the sounds as well as the sights.
The Honourable Prasad Bisesa, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honourable Shri Narendra Modi ji, Prime Minister of the Republic of India, members of the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago, Your Excellency Dr. Jai Shankar, Minister of External Affairs of the Republic of India, Your Excellency Dr. Pradeep Singh Rajpurohit, High Commissioner for the Republic of India to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, members of Parliament, esteemed members of the delegation of the Republic of India, senior government officials, other distinguished guests, members of the Indian diaspora, members of the media. As we reach the conclusion of this historic visit by the Honourable Shri Narendra Modi ji, Prime Minister of the Republic of India, and his official delegation, it is a distinct honor and privilege for all of us gathered here today and those joining us via the media to witness this important moment in our bilateral relations. In a fitting culmination to this visit, the government of Trinidad and Tobago is pleased to announce the exchange of 6 memoranda of understanding between the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and the Republic of India. These MOUs reflect our shared commitment to deepening bilateral relations, cooperation across a wide range of areas that are vital to our mutual development and prosperity. The MOUs are as follows. A Memorandum of Understanding signed between the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare India, and the Ministry of Health Trinidad and Tobago on pharmacopoeial cooperation. MOU number 2, agreement between the Government of India and the Government of Trinidad and Tobago regarding Indian grant assistance for the implementation of quick impact projects, which will support initiatives not limited to infrastructure upgrades such as roads, education, health, sanitation. The Government of India will provide grant financing on assistance for up to $50,000 with a maximum of 5 projects per financial year. MOU number 3, Memorandum of Understanding for Cooperation on Diplomatic Training between the Ministry of External Affairs of the Government of India and the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs of the Government of Trinidad and Tobago. MOU number 4, Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in Sports between the Government of India and the Government of Trinidad and Tobago. MOU number 5, Program for Cultural Exchanges between the Government of India and the Government of Trinidad and Tobago for the period 2025 to 2028. And MOU number 6, a Memorandum of Understanding on the establishment of the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, Chair of Hindi and Indian Studies at the University of the West Indies, Trinidad and Tobago. In closing, this exchange ceremony marks not only the deepening of bilateral ties, but also the beginning of new chapters of collaboration and partnership that will bring mutual benefit to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and India. The commitments outlined in these MOUs reflect our shared vision of progress, prosperity, and partnership. In this presentation, you'll also see a presentation of sweets or mithai from the Honourable Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa to Shri Narendra Modi, which represents the success of this visit, the success between the relationship between Trinidad and Tobago and India. There will also be a handing over of a model and machinery from the Indian government to the Honourable Prime Minister and the people of Trinidad and Tobago. On behalf of the government of people of Trinidad and Tobago, I extend heartfelt thanks to the government of India for this fruitful engagement. We look forward to working more closely together to realize the full potential of these and many more agreements in the future. Thank you. We invite the foreign ministers to please exchange the MOUs. We invite Minister Sean Sobers, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs from Trinidad and Tobago, and Dr. Jai Shankar, Minister of External Affairs of the Republic of India. Prototype for what? Machinery for procession. All right. The Honourable Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa SC of Trinidad and Tobago will now present the Honourable Shri Narendra Modi Ji, Prime Minister of India, with a token of appreciation of sweets and mithai from the people of Trinidad and Tobago, representing the success of this historic visit and the success of our bilateral relations. There we go, this. Now, the Honourable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi Ji of India will present to the Honourable Kamala Prasad Bisesa a small prototype of machinery and a processing unit as part of India's gift to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much. On behalf of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, we thank His Excellency, the Honourable Shri Narendra Modi ji, Prime Minister of the Republic of India, the members of his delegation, His Excellency Jai Shankar, Minister of External Affairs of the Republic of India, and we thank you very much. We invite members only of the local Trinidad and Tobago media to please join us at the front. Only the Trinidad and Tobago media to come forward. Yeah. Please, members of the local, yeah, right. You are to be in the photograph, not to take the photograph, but you're welcome to be part of the photograph. So members of the media, Trinidad and Tobago media, you're invited to be a part of the photograph.
And there we're seeing, wouldn't necessarily call it a first, but at the same time there is the invitation for local media to be part of this occasion on the other side of the lens, as it were, normally being the ones behind the camera. But Paulsec Wilfred Nicholas Morris would have itemized the 6 memoranda of understanding, basically looking at a pharmacopoeial cooperation, Indian grant assistance for quick impact projects. The scope of that was also shared. Cooperation on diplomatic training. There will be a memorandum of understanding
after the members of the local media,
cultural exchanges, as well as the establishment of an Indian Council for Culture, Hindi Studies, and the like at the UWI campus. Wondering what will be Dr. Sharian Singh's thoughts on that. But she's primarily positioned to have some sort of influence there. We once again thank her for the contribution and the insight that she would have made yesterday, giving us a socio-historical context that helps to really drive the point home of the importance of an occasion like this. So from here though, or following the exchange of the MOUs, both prime ministers will be escorted to proceeding along the corridor to the St. Vincent Street side, if I'm not mistaken, for a sapling planting. During which time we still have members of the media taking shots, making sure that this event is recorded for posterity. Also, it is very possible that these saplings may be neem, or this sapling may be neem, and that is something that we can go into in a little more detail as the event progresses. And you always look at the fact that you can make an easy differentiation between individuals who are members of the media, with the cameras, versus a protective detail, who normally are a bit more stoic in their bearing. Also with our devices to capture images. There we have a former president of our republic, Anthony Aquinas Carmona, being greeted by a member of the media. And no doubt he would have taken his share of the former president's photographs. But seems as though there's always room for one more. Now, this is some of the work that would have been mentioned yesterday, work that is generally unheralded, but at the same time lends so much credence to the importance of the events taking place. We also see that we have some rain falling at this time. We'll see how that is addressed since the proceedings are supposed to be taking us outside. Mercifully, though, this is something that seems to have been forecasted or prepared for, and that might be the reason that there's also a tent in the area that the sapling is going to be planted. And some people say at times like this, the world separates itself into two, those with and those without umbrellas, and all that entails. Here we have another angle of the area allocated for that tree planting ceremony. So we have the Chief of Protocol and the defense detail, always ready to serve, always ready to render assistance. At this time, this assistance includes bearing umbrellas. And it's just a few footsteps, but it is at the same time so important to make sure that this visit, the second day of this official visit by the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, goes the way it's supposed to. And we're hoping that this gentleman, and I doubt it would be Karapule, so that looks as though it's a neem plant, which is very symbolic. Because there's some areas that call, or some places that call a neem plant. Some people say the village pharmacy, some people say the poor man's pharmacy. Every plant or every part of that plant being used to cure different types of ailments. And even the watering of this plant at this point in time, harking back to the fact that Prime Minister Modi would have brought some water of a spiritual nature to Trinidad and Tobago as a gift, hoping that it blesses the space. And neem has a long, long history. As we said, every part of the neem tree being utilized. Some people will know the leaves for helping to cleanse blood, sometimes being put in cabinets as store cabinets to protect clothes from insects. And I'm sure that the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, while handing over these plants, is charging the individuals receiving them to be good stewards and doing their best to take care of them until those trees can help to take care of us as a larger community. So it seems as though we just had the last plant collected by a young man with the motto of Domino Nos Dirigi, divine guidance.
All right, cool. Look up, everyone. Now look down. Down.
And as per usual, the media will have a say in terms of guiding participants how they want them to look. First of all, looking up into the camera and then looking down, I guess, at the plants themselves.
So now it's your duty to take care of this tree. Will you please? Wow.
And some people might even put forward the opinion that handing or passing these saplings on to these students, each in their school uniform, can symbolize passing knowledge, the importance of being eco-minded, sustainability. And reaching even further than planting that neem tree that will have such significance at our Parliament.
Brother, can I just take a picture without the, yeah. That's now.
Media will be media. If you don't think that you've gotten that $1 million worth shot, as we are having one here, and we see a little extra material being placed into the hole to make sure that this neem plant has the best start that it can get. And as we lean forward, we can see that the dedication on the plaque translates to a tree for mother. Ah, yes, it is neem. And the inscription tells the date, those involved. Ik peed maad ke naam, translating to that, a tree for mother. And we are almost at the end of day 2. This, the second day of the official visit of the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, Shri Narendra Modi, to Trinidad and Tobago. And we may see the departure of the minister, because they will be, well, ministers rather, in terms of Ministers Padarath, the Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Sobers, as well as other individuals from the Parliament, in the same way that Prime Minister Modi was greeted when he arrived on our shores, to bid him farewell when he is about to leave. And this visit, many may argue, has been a testament to the strong and evolving relationship between India and Trinidad and Tobago. Once again, we were wondering whether or not we would have a literal handful of memoranda of understanding in terms of 5 MOUs, but we got one extra. We got 6 MOUs. Once again, those are taking the form of direct interests to Pharmacopoeia Corporation, Indian grant assistance for quick impact projects, cooperation on diplomatic training, one on sports, cultural exchanges, establishing Indian Council for Culture Hindi Studies at the UWI campus. Then after those MOUs were exchanged by Jai Shankar, Minister of External Affairs of India, as well as Sean Sobers, the Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, there was our Prime Minister, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, giving the Prime Minister of India mithai or sweets. Not quite sure if it was from the little store. And then we had the Prime Minister of India sharing a small prototype of something that will prove to be a larger offering as time progresses. So it has been, we've given you a detailed journey through the Prime Minister Modi's visit, and it's really been a pleasure for us to do so. What is left is for the Prime Minister to make his way to the airport to continue. As we said, he goes to Argentina after leaving our shores. 5 jurisdictions, 8 days. So thank you so much for joining us through this journey. It has really been our pleasure to provide this footage to you wherever you have been, whatever channel you have been looking at, because some people have been looking on via television, some people have been tuned into TTT Live Online, some people have been on our sister station, Talk City 91.1 FM. We've also been carrying it live on our Facebook and YouTube channels. Wherever you have been tuned into, it has been our honor to bring the sights and sounds and stories of a day that will surely be remembered as a milestone in India, Trinidad and Tobago relations. Now, from all of us here at TTT Limited, we want to wish you a very good afternoon. We want to thank you once more for tuning in, and may the friendship between our nations continue to flourish. I'm DK Rasta.
It is with great pride and anticipation that we welcome the Honourable Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Republic of India, to the shores of Trinidad and Tobago on July 3rd and 4th, 2025. This historic visit, the first by a Prime Minister from the Republic of India in over 2 decades, marks a new chapter in the enduring friendship between our two nations. Prime Minister Modi's visit is not only symbolic, it is strategic. It signals India's growing engagement with the Caribbean and its recognition of Trinidad and Tobago as a key partner in the region. This visit reaffirms our commitment to South-South cooperation and to building bridges of opportunity between our peoples. We look forward to deepening our partnership with the Republic of India for the prosperity of our citizens and the advancement of our shared global vision.
This is TTT. Live for local.